Hello and welcome to Duke's Handbook, where I give advice on anything anybody's asking for. Mondays are the Reddit episodes, released every Monday, 5:30 a.m. Mountain Time. Tuesday through Friday, if people write in, I'll record episodes for them personally. And let's just go ahead and get into it. Hello and welcome to Duke's Handbook, and today I'm going off of some that I printed off because I was worried they'd be gone afterwards. And some of them may still be there, I don't know. But anyway, so let's just go ahead and get this one started. It says, should I let my daughter go camping alone? My 17-year-old daughter, yeah. But my 17-year-old daughter has asked to go camping alone with 3 of her friends this summer. We normally go camping twice a year, so she has experience, but I've told her I don't think she is mature enough to go alone. She had also said she would want to use my camping equipment, tents, chairs, grill, car, etc., etc. I don't want it to be left in the hands of 17-year-olds, even though she's set up everything before. Wow, I apologize. Well, then I don't see what the problem here is. I also want to add that she said that her father, my ex, would be there the same time as her and her friends, but just at a different campsite. She stated that he can help if any problems arise, and he is very irresponsible, and I don't want him looking after my stuff. Seriously? Like, I feel like that's just being petty now at this point. Should I let my daughter go? Yes, absolutely, you should let your daughter go. God, you're almost being petty a little bit. Edit. I have said many times that I'm willing to take her and her friends camping, and even if they stay at a different site, but she refuses, saying she's already booked a good campsite right on the water at the campground her father's at. I think she prefers having her father there instead, so she might be able to get away with more. She has never been drunk and hasn't gotten into much trouble, but I still don't like the idea of her taking any car and my camping equipment to use on a trip that her father is benefiting from. This is the petties her father is benefiting from. He's not even on the same campsite. He's at the same campground. As it's her last year at home since she's going to university in September, I thought she would see it as my last normal summer with her. Dude, okay. First of all, it's not like she's going off to university and you're never going to see her again, ever. Like, I'm sure she's going to come home for summers. You guys are going to be able to do your camping trip. And then you even pointing out, like, at the benefit of her father. Like, come on, dude. That's some petty bullshit, dude. Let her go with her friends. Stop helicopter parenting. And you know what? If she wants to get drunk that weekend, so be it. Don't be this person that is like, I don't want my daughter going camping with her friends, even though her dad, who you have a problem with, not her dad is going to be there just at a different campsite. And I just feel like you're helicopter parenting here, and you are more get away with. What do you think they're going to do? Banging junk into their fucking arm? Dude, it's 17-year-olds. More than likely, they're going to be drinking fucking White Claw on the river, having a good time. And if anything, like, possibly were to happen, Dad's there. So you're being petty. Yes, let her go camping by herself with her friends. Like, fuck. You know, I mean, shit, she's going to come home on the summers anyway. You guys can do a camping trip when she comes home from college. Get over it, man. Damn. Let her leave the nest a little bit. Hey, if you're listening or you're watching on YouTube, do me a huge favor. Subscribe, like, comment, share, whatever. It'd be absolutely fantastic to see who's coming and going and who's watching and who's, doing their thing. So anyway, we'd love it if you just hit the subscribe and click that little notification bell. So this one's pretty long. It says, have been an on and off drug addict since I was 14. I have now gotten clean, but I feel empty and numb towards everything. Probably normal for drug addicts, I think. I don't really know how to start this. The title pretty much sums it up, but I'll tell my story nonetheless to try and get some advice for the situation I'm in and possibly stray people away from the lifestyle that completely destroyed me, which I see very much encouraged nowadays. What do you mean, very much encouraged? I'm 20 years old and have been doing drugs on and off ever since I was 14. I was already having a lot of mental problems due to the past traumas and my family moving to a completely new country, whole ass country, damn, didn't help at all. I made some very questionable friendships with people much older than me that peer pressured me into trying weed for the first time. I gave in, and ever since then, everything has spiraled out of control. I liked the way it made me feel. I liked the way I could forget about everything and just lay back without a care in the world. I did it for a few months, but then my older brother found out and, quote, talked with the older kids I was hanging out with. Needless to say, they never spoke or looked me in the eyes ever again since. Damn. Older brother into some shit, huh? I then got together with a girl when I was 16. We dated for 1.5 years, and she helped me get clean and find myself again. Sadly, this story doesn't have a happy end because after a year and a few months, we broke up due to me catching her texting other guys inappropriately and planning to meet up 2 times, which completely broke me and led me to smoking weed again. Pretty much every single day, I would smoke up to 5 grams, which doesn't seem like a lot, but I am a 5'5" guy who weighs 60 kilograms. So for me, it was 60 kilograms. That's like what, 140 in pounds? The worst thing of it all was that I was partially at fault for my best friend getting addicted to weed as well. Every single weekend, I would go party, smoke, and drink until I would pass out and wake up in some random person's house or somewhere in a field. Cross-faded. Yeah, that'll get you. Also, weed, I'm going to be honest. I mean, like, weed's not addictive. But this went on for many months until I met another girl who then later became my girlfriend of 9 months. In the beginning, I never loved her, I confess. She was mainly a way for me to forget about my ex-girlfriend and not feel as lonely as I did. Someone to pass the nights with and make me forget about everything. She had very bad bipolar disorder and was in a worse mental state than I was, but somehow we found closure in each other. That's kind of weird. I then took her into my world, partying, drinking, drugs, and sex every single weekend. And that led me to fall in love with her. Very hard. Long story short, I chose my lifestyle over her and completely destroyed her already fragile mental state through fucking shit up multiple times. She probably gave me 1,000,000 chances and I still found a way to fuck it up. At least you know, which I still feel remorseful and sorry for till this day. After that happened, I completely fell into the absolute rock bottom. I started taking opioids, ecstasy, methamphetamines, basically anything I could get my hands on. I was rolling face basically every second week whenever I wouldn't have money for it anymore. To combat the money problem, I started stealing from people close to me. And in the end of it all, I was left with 3 overdoses in the span of 2 months. Chronic drug-induced psychosis and feeling of numbness that never went away. Damn. That's fucking rough, dude. You like really put it in there, didn't you? Half a year ago, I moved to another country again to try and get away from it all. And it worked. I've been clean ever since I moved, but now nothing brings me joy anymore. I have become completely empathetic to everything and everyone around me. Only feelings I am capable of feeling are remorse and sadness for the relationship I ruined, and a sense of nostalgia whenever I think back about the amazing times I had. Am I fucked for life? Or is there any way to get my spirit back? I have tried to start working out and get new hobbies, but whenever I do those things, the void keeps coming back. I'm opening to answering every question that may come. Dude. Very interesting. For one, I'm just going to put that out there. No, you're not fucked for life. I think you're just in a lull right now because of like the rush that was your every weekend, right? And that's no longer there. So maybe get into like AANA and meet some people there, and that might actually help alleviate that. I personally have never been a drug addict. I'm an alcoholic, admittedly, but I still wake up and go to work in the morning. And so, like, what's that called? Functioning alcoholic. But that being said, I think you have partied it a little too hard, if you will. And maybe therapy, and then counseling, and then, like I said, Alcoholics Anonymous, Narcotics Anonymous, because you did start going into the harder shit. But congratulations on being sober now, and I hope that remains the case, man, because I think you really need it. So, sorry I couldn't be of more help, but definitely you need to seek the help of people who have been in hardcore situations like that. So I just want to throw this out there. I am not a licensed professional in any of this stuff. I just have lived an interesting life myself, and I've learned from my own mistakes, and I've learned from some of my friends' mistakes and family members' mistakes. And I've not had an easy life, put it that way. That being said, all the advice that I'm giving here, there are some situations that I come across that I've not even come close to being in. And then there are some situations that I have for sure been in. And I'm giving advice based off of what I've gone through in my own life on situations that I may not have gone through, but I can kind of like resonate with some of these people, and in my eyes, guide them the best to my ability. So nothing that I say is to be taken as gospel or like the word of God or like anything like that. Like I definitely don't bring religion into anything. But I really do hope that what I'm giving my advice on is possibly helpful to anybody that's listening. So if you are listening and you're a return listener, thank you for being a return listener. And if you're, here for the first time and this is your first episode, then I appreciate you being here, but just understand I'm not a licensed professional. I'm just giving advice off of my very weird, wacky, individual experiences and not easy life that I've had. So, thank you for listening. So, this one here, I mean, groomers, and it's NSFW, so maybe don't have it on in your workspace. But so I'm just going to get into this one. It says tips for successfully cutting off my groomer. I am 22 female. Apologies for any rambling before I begin. I have ADHD, and so organizing my thoughts can be kind of a challenge at times. Also, trigger warning. This post is about minors and adults dating. So if that bothers you, please click away now. Thank you for the warning. Back when I was 16, I took an interest in dating. I really didn't expect to meet anyone. In fact, I thought I was ugly, disgusting, and unworthy of love at the time. Genuinely believed it. If you would have told me I would have lived past age 18 at this time, I would not have believed you, because it was in my plans to just off myself on my 18th birthday back then. Sad but true. And just a fact of the matter. I'm so sorry you felt that way. Anyway, I ended up meeting this person that I'm referring to as my groomer on a dating app. Originally, he told me he was 30. I was an obsessive person. I put his phone number into one of those reverse search engines and found that he had been lying about his age. I ended up telling some friends I was close with online who ended up reporting it to the police. Police did show up at my school and questioned me. Illegally, might I add. I was a minor and my parents were not present. They did confiscate my phone, etc. But by then, it was too late because I had already fallen for this man, and I mean deeply fallen for him. I wanted to learn everything about him. He was actually 50. By the way, and I was so in love I didn't care. That's how badly I wanted and craved love. I should mention, we never actually met in person or anything like that, but my feelings were real, and to some extent, his were too in hindsight. And I'm not just saying that to try and deny reality. This man genuinely did have feelings, and I think for him, this is problematic, whereas for me, it was like a dream come true because I didn't know it was possible for someone besides my parents and family to love me. Anyway, long story short, I found a loophole when it came to the police's involvement. Erased all the data off my phone using Android's version of Find My Phone, so they had no evidence against him. And I was 17. And also the main, quote, victim. I don't consider myself a victim, so they had no case. I essentially protected him from any kind of consequence, like an idiot. But it wasn't like that for me, because I had to deal with the consequences of my grandparents finding out about it. They were strict on me for months, angry at me for years, and the strain on me and my grandparents' relationship made me so depressed I wound up dropping out of high school and just getting my GED. I've worked hard to fix my life back to at least being on track, saved up money, bought myself a car and all, so I could go back to school, and now I'm in college trying to become a medical lab tech. But I honestly can't say this all happened as a result of me meeting this guy. Just that it was a straw that broke the camel's back for me. This is interesting. The thing is, in all this time, I've been unable to let go of him. I'm weirdly attached to him. And he has been unable to let go of me. Even though all of the police stuff, even after all these years, we are still in contact. He, quote, ended things with me at 18, just like everyone told me he was going to do. It took me a while to accept this, though, and now at 22, I'm finally starting to let go. But he won't admit it. He wants things to continue. I can tell when I talk to him, but he treats me like a child at times, talks down to me, and doesn't take my feelings seriously anymore. It hurts a lot because I found safety in his companionship despite the nature of our relationship, and I honestly think I would have offed myself if I had not met him. He kept me going for quite a while, as in, he made me not want to give up and gave me something to work towards. And I felt if I worked hard enough, if I could prove to him that I was independent, smart, and willing to put in the effort, he would want me back. But enough time has passed that I know that's not going to happen. And that it's not something I should continue to pursue. And when I tell you it hurts, I mean it hurts on a level I can't really explain. To add on, even after he ended things, he has continued to encourage sexual behavior from me. He's referred to me as his wife, and he also has an incest kink. So I mean, me being adopted is kind of like the perfect situation for him to role play as being a father figure to me. And the bad part is, I love it too. And I don't know what that says about me, but it's just true. But when I try to talk to somebody new or get interested in somebody else, he's all I can think about. And he knows he's got a hold on me, which is why he talks down to me and has been changing up how he acts towards me. I even feel he is bitter towards me for some reason, but will not go into detail. So I've decided I just need to cut him off. But every time I've tried in the past, I always go back to him because I can't handle the loneliness that follows. I can't talk to anyone I know in real life about this stuff because there's so much stigma. I'm very isolated in general and struggle to make or keep friends. I just feel so trapped in this stupid life and stupid situation. I don't know how to handle it. I have tried reaching out to therapists, but I have been too afraid to open up about this part of my life. How do you keep yourself from going back to someone who played such a large role in your life? All the memories come flooding back when I try. I feel like everything about my life is just wrong without him. But it's clearly something I need to do for myself. That's interesting. That's really interesting. That dives into like the whole like mental aspect of like a groomer and the effect they have on whoever they're grooming. My only advice to you for that, I mean, again, not been in that situation, but my only advice to you for that would be you're just going to have to block them on everything, and it's going to be really rough. And don't worry about feeling lonely at all, because that's fleeting. That's something that comes and goes, you know. Granted, you are of like legal age, so it's not like the end of the world if you guys decide to push forward now. I mean, creepy as fuck that at like 50 years old, he's like hitting a 16-year-old up, but also at the same time, you were lying about your age being 18 on a dating website. So all of it's kind of weird, and I would personally have to like meditate on it to give you like a real solid, meaningful answer. But the best I could tell you right now is to just block on everything, move on with your life, and I mean, that's all you really can do, right? And then, like, if you are going to go to therapy, you need to be open with your therapist about it, about everything, about how you're feeling, everything like that. Because a licensed therapist will be able to dive a little bit deeper into it than I could. But that being said, no, I hope you're able to move on in life. And I'm glad you're still here. I'm glad you didn't off yourself. I'm glad you didn't unalive yourself or whatever. And, that strength is something else. But, yeah, you definitely need to move on with your life and maybe meet somebody that's a little bit more in your age range. And I think that if you do continue with this gentleman, creepy motherfucker that is in his 50s, it will not end well. So, that being said, I hope, what little I could offer was maybe a little bit of a help to you. That'll do it for this episode. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching if you're on YouTube. Either way, whatever you're doing, follow it, like it, share it, all that stuff. And keep a good lookout for Eagle and the Rue. That's in the works. And, follow me on TikTok and all that stuff for little shorties. And everything is Duke's Handbook. And we'll see you on the next episode. Thank you for listening. You have a good rest of your day.